What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? So today, let's excuse what I'm looking like right now because this is all a part of the magic that's gonna happen today, okay? So today we're going to be making a crown detachable unit, and we're going to do this. We're gonna do a crochet method, okay? So the things that you're going to need that we're going to use today, you're going to need your mesh wig cap, you're going to need your crochet wig cap. This is the one that I have. You're going to need your needle and thread. You need a tape measure. Tape measure. And make sure you have your needle. We're gonna need a crochet needle as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're gonna get ready and put our measurements onto our canvas block. All right. So I want you all to bear with me because guess what? This is going to be my first time actually doing this this way. So it's just something I came up with in my head, and we just gonna make it happen, okay? So I do know that you do need to make sure that it is down below. You got your you have your dome cap stretched out really good over your canvas block. And so I don't want to make it onto this thick part, because a lot of times with this thick part I want it to make sure it lays really flat. So we're not going to use this part. So we're going to start above that line, okay? So now I'm going to take my crochet net cap and place it on top of it. And so I have a gold marker that we're gonna create this to be like the front hairline. So now we're gonna take the tape measurer and we're going to measure out our front to back. And my front to back measurements for the area that I'm going to leave out is going to be 8 inches. So we're going to go 8 inches straight back. We're going to mark that. Okay, now half of 8 is 4. Okay, so I always like to do a halfway mark. The halfway mark is what's gonna give you your side to side. And after you do your side to side, then the only thing you do next is kind of connect all of them together. All right, so my side to side measurements are going to be 7.5. So you're looking at, we're gonna 7.5. That's going to be right at about almost 4. Let's see. Right at about almost 4 inches. Get a little bit above. So we're going to take that and we're going to lay that in that middle part where we have marked off here. And that's going to be your side to side measurements. And we go to 7.5 here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect in a circle. We're going to connect that to the front hairline. You want to kind of go in the shape of the head, kind of a round shape. And keep going all the way around until you meet up. The lines don't have to be perfect, but we just want to get a good guesstimate of what that looks like. All right, so what we're about to do now, we're just going to sew the crochet cap onto the mesh dome cap. And we're going to sew the perimeter all the way around. And I'm also going to take a thread across the middle and create like a cross in the middle of the unit as well. Because this is a crochet unit, I was thinking, you know, when you think about crochet, you don't want it to lift because it's going to, you know, it's going to have space. So I'm going to create like anchors. So I'm going to go, after I do the perimeter, I'm going to do a cross in the middle with sewing. Okay, stay tuned. All right, so we are completely finished with sewing it down with our needle and thread. I did use blonde thread all the way around the perimeter, as well as putting the cross here in the middle to create the anchor and more security for this to be crocheted in. And so now what I'm about to do, I'm going to take my sewing machine and I'm going to just create an even more secure anchor to make sure that it's going to be secure and not fall apart. All right. Okay, so right now what I'm doing, I'm just putting the cap back onto the canvas block, and as you can see, it is all the way attached, it's all the way secure, so you won't have any problems with it coming loose. Now the outside perimeter of the unit, the stitch, I didn't use a zigzag, just a regular zigzag stitch. It was a stitch that went back and forth because I'm just extra, so that's why I use that stitch. But you can use a zigzag stitch as well. Now in the middle, that's what I used. I used the zigzag stitch all the way across for the cross area. Okay, so I just put some pins onto the cap just to kind of hold it down and make sure it's more secure when I start crocheting. This is my ultimate favorite textured hair, crochet hair. It blends really well with my natural texture, and it gives you a really good curl in it as well, I think. Now, you don't have to use a lot of this crochet hair. That's another reason why I like using it, because I'm a person, I like volume, but I also, when it comes to adding in extra extension hair, I don't really want to use a lot of it. So yeah, you really don't have to use a lot. I tend to make mine pretty small. Around the perimeter is where I tend to do them kind of close, but not really. If I was using a different type of hair, I would probably make them even more closer. But I probably did these almost an inch apart, but it was kind of a little less than an inch, a little bit apart around the outside. And like I said, you don't have to put them super close, because it's just more hair you're gonna have to cut. So yeah, just make it easier on yourself. And that's the best thing about this type of hair. You don't, once again, like I said, you don't have to it doesn't have to be really close together, because it's going to give you fullness, it's going to give you volume, it's going to give you all of that. Okay, I just wanted to show you how full this hair really is. You see, I don't have them super close together, but it is good spacing, and it's still full. So it's going to give me a lot to work with when it comes to putting it down and all of that good stuff. So this is what the inside of the unit looks like. You see where the cross is. You see that the perimeter is secure, and it's not going to come loose easily. You about have to do something real crazy in order to make the perimeter come loose. Now I'm just taking a lighter just to kind of seal like the pieces around the edges. You do have to be careful so you won't burn up the hair, but for the most part, I'm just kind of adding in some extra security to make sure that it stays in place and doesn't unravel. Alright, so on this one I'm going to use 4 combs. Usually you can use more than 4, but I'm just going to use 4 today. So basically what I'm doing now is just taking this needle and thread through the holes that you have on your combs. You want to make sure your combs are facing up so that when you get ready to put it on your head, it slides right into your own hair. Now, I do like to use the blanket stitch just to kind of give it some extra security. And see how simple that is? And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, we're all done. Now you can see that this unit, it has some really good stretch. It's gonna do what it needs to do. I'm super excited to show y'all what it looks like. All right, y'all. So I did decide to redo my braids. My hair is really not that long in the top, so I had to do some real ghetto stuff to make it stay in the back part because it's definitely shorter. So yeah, I did use a little shine and jam just to kind of help me grip it just a little bit more. But yes, I made it work. I made it happen. So yeah. Okay, baby, you cannot wear your units or any protective styles without your Heavenly Tresses growth oil. You can purchase this from our website, but this stuff makes your scalp feel so good. It is loaded with all the growth components that's going to help stimulate your scalp, create blood flow to make your hair grow really, really good. So make sure you do this anytime you're wearing protective styles, braids, it doesn't matter. This is the stuff that you need to get. All right. So it is the next day, and I've put a little makeup on, just something light, nothing major. I will make sure to put my lipstick details in my earrings. So what we're about to do now is go ahead and kind of put the piece on, do a little taming. So this morning I did do, since I'm a head sweater, so my hair is a little damp, but I'm going to take some of our Loctite styling foam and just put a little bit on my fingertips and just kind of put it on the edges, the hair that's left out, just to kind of give it some moisture, give it some definition, because I still want to make sure it blends pretty well with this twist unit. Not using a lot, but just trying to put a little bit on there just to give it a little And FYI, like my my edges have always been like a weak area. I've had edges, it's just that they always grow slower than the rest of my hair. Now I do take my vitamins, my hair vitamins, my Nutritress hair vitamins. I'm not as consistent, and that's sad because, I tell my clients to be consistent with whatever they do. And sometimes, hey, I'm a human being as well. And sometimes I get inconsistent. But take your vitamins. Make sure you are massaging your scalp. Make sure you are using your growth oil. I've already put my oil on. And now we're about to put the piece on. Da-da, da-da. I only use 4 clips, but I feel like I want to go back and put more in, but we'll get to that later. I'm not putting it completely at the edge of my hair. I just kind of got it like a little bit behind my hairline. And basically what you're going to do is take the edges of the unit and just kind of blend it in with your hair. See how that looks? So what this does is just kind of give you a good little, give you some volume, give you some height, because I just love big hair, always have. So what I'll do is take some pictures and let you all see the complete finished result. Thank you for watching.